standard. No! The standard is the standard. We set the standard.
Right, that's right. It is Prime Time Beef Huddle. I'm your host, DJ K DuB Omaha. We're back for another Thursday before the road game into Salina as the Beef look to bounce back, overcome any adversity that would have happened has happened. Coach, welcome to the show.
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm all right. We also got in the house with us the Prez himself, Tony D.
How you guys doing? How's everybody?
Man, it is Primetime Beef Huddle, so we greatly appreciate all those who tune in and watch. We appreciate Ace Rentone with this wonderful lounge. Of course, our great sponsors, Penn Steel Manufacturing, 42 Degrees. We can't do what we do without you. First road game, here we go.
Yeah.
Quick, short week. Practice has already been going. How has this week felt for you, Coach?
It's never fun after a loss. But I think we've made some necessary moves that we had to make to improve in certain areas of the game. Practice has been good. Guys are locked in. That's what I want. But look, there's a lot of anger, right? First home loss, home opener, and since I think 2022. There's another record I saw something going as far back as 2017. Maybe reversed. Maybe for something.
I think 2017 is the last home loss,
yeah.
And then 2022
season opener.
Season opener.
Yeah. So look, that sucks. Those are some records I don't want, right? But look, I want this team to get in the mindset of being the hunter. We've always been the hunted because we're always on top, and so people are always wanting to take that from us. Sometimes things like this are good for the long-term plan, right? It's not how you start, it's how you finish. I don't know one championship that's ever been won in the National Arena League in week 1 or 2. I've never seen that happen before, so it's certainly not going to happen in 2026. But we got to right the ship this week in Salina, and I think we'll do so.
Of course, it's the first road trip. Tony, you've been on these for quite a while. This one's a quick turnaround, down 3 hours, 3.5. What is it like from the front office?
It's a good thing because, driving a van 12, 13, 14 hours, it's taxing mentally, and so a quick turnarounds are always nice. It kind of breaks that. It gets the guys into a routine when they show up to arena. They know to expect this, they expect that travel wise. And so, the physical part of the game, it's always going to be there, but the mental part, the long travel it's brutal. I mean, we did it twice for Beaumont last year, and I like these quick turnarounds. I like being back in my own bed, after the game at a reasonable time, and it's going to be good for the guys, though. It really will be.
Agreed.
Of course, there's a lot of question. Where can you watch the game? What can you do for the game? There's multiple outlets out there, and understanding what those outlets are, that's where we'll start here. Of course, we have our big watch party. You want to be a part of the Omaha Beef? This is where you come out while they're on the road. We have a lot of the rump roasters, so I appreciate them for coming out. But any fans that come out to Hurrdat Sports Bar in La Vista, right off of Giles and I-80, that's where I'll be an hour before the game, 5:30. I'll be starting on the music. We'll, of course, have swag. Have, like I said, some of the rump roasters come out. Who knows who comes out, but that is number one spot where you can watch it amongst other Omaha Beef fans. 2, there's the NAL network. You go through NAL. It does not go through YouTube. You go through NALfootball.com, and then you can get onto their NAL network that way. It is not, unfortunately, on YouTube where you can just go find it. And the third way is, of course, and I'll let, of course, our guest tonight, another voice of the Omaha Beef, Jason, kind of talk a little bit about it. We got radio back.
That's awesome.
We
cool.
have Boomer Radio back, bringing the Omaha Beef. So there is, via the airwaves, via watching or coming out and hanging out or taking the little 3-hour trip down to Salina. Now, for you, of course, Tony, this is your first time going to a place like Salina. Is that correct?
That is correct. With a failed organization that I was a part of back in 2024, they were part of the AF1. We had plans of going down there. I was excited about it, and so I like being on the road just because I can actually watch the game, but I love the Slaughterhouse. Don't get me, don't even try and put me in that corner. But I'm excited about going to a new venue, and then the following week we go to Dodge City, and that's another venue that I was going to be a part of in 2024, and it's going to be cool to go into both places. Again, if our fans go to Hurrdat or listen to it over the radio, and love to see them, hang out with you at Hurrdat, type deal as the fans. But I'm excited about the trip, and again, like we talked about, 3 hours. That's pretty nice.
Good road trip.
That's good. That's good.
Coach, have you ever been to Midwest Kansas besides the signing day of when the team was joining us? Was there any connections for you?
I have not played in Salina. This will be new for me. Obviously, like you said, I have been there for the press conference when they joined the NAL, but no, this will be my first trip, so I'm excited about it.
You look in that locker room and the feelings of the travel. What's some of the vets feeling that you can feel in the culture, and what's some of the new guys picking up on?
So I think for the vets, especially ones that were here, in the CIF days, they have an understanding of kind of what we're going into, the hostile environment that is Salina. Salina's been a rival of the team. A lot of fans of both fan bases were disappointed when Salina went AF1 and Omaha obviously went to the National Arena League as part of the merger with CIF. So I think the vets are very aware of the what to expect, albeit, not having played there. I'm very aware of what to expect. I know what kind of coach Haran O'Neill is. I know what kind of coach Leonard Hampton is. Leonard Hampton was head coach in Louisiana last year for a time. So look, this is certainly not the best gift from the schedule after a loss. As far as the young guys are concerned, the new guys, there's an advantage to not knowing what you're going into, right? Because you don't know any better. And so they're just hungry. Look, my entire team is upset about not only the fact that we lost, but the way we lost, right? So the reverse psychology motivation of that is working, however you want to call it. The guys are gonna be ready, but the veterans have expressed to some of the newer guys that going into Salina is no joke. We need to be prepared.
Tony,
I'm an old coach from other areas and stuff, and I'm a firm believer in a loss is good for the soul. It makes the competitive juices even more. The Woody Hayes said it best: "The good ass kicking is good for the soul." And you take words from the legendary coach of Woody Hayes, and such. And I've gone to a couple of practices this week, and I see a little difference in it. The veterans after the game and stuff. They're gonna make sure the rookies, their heads are on straight. And coaches have been telling them all week, this is a business trip. We're not going down to sightsee. We're not going to go check out a diners, driving in dives for a restaurant or whatever like that. It's a business trip. And that's how every one of these road trips have to be, because a lot's on the line. Coach said a championship's not won in the first game, but, we got to set the tone, though. It's that precedence of the standard that we have here. And Salina's going to be ready too, but hell has no fury, and I believe that we're going to go down there and we're going to burn Salina to the ground. I mean, that's just how it is.
Hey, that's the way we want to go. Go down firing, all cannons, all weapons available. That's the biggest thing, as you can see by the injury report that will be posted tomorrow. But we're going to be coming back here. Check out our swag. Make sure to get some before this weekend.
Omaha Beef Football. Prime dancers. Rump roasters. Slaughterhouse. Are you ready? DJ next one. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome to the Yeah, we really want it. Beef Nation, girl, I'm shaking. Got a ring and we flown it. Prime Dancers be on it. I bet the competition's no opposition. We come to take and we done it. Ricky is the chief. Saying, let's go, Beef. Welcome to the Orange Kingdom. Yeah. Orange Kingdom. Welcome to the Orange Kingdom. Yeah. Orange Kingdom. Welcome to the Slaughterhouse. Orange and Black about to win this. Defense stays on attack. You on a hit list. Spiking, blocking, and dumping, jumping out the gymnasium. You want to see the best? Meet us at the Beef Stadium. Yeah. Orange Kingdom. Welcome to the Orange Kingdom. Let's go, Beef. Orange Kingdom. Slaughterhouse. Orange Kingdom. Join dancers. Orange Kingdom. Let's roll, baby.
That's right. We're back at Primetime Beef Huddle with DJ K DuB Omaha here. And we, of course, got the voice of the Omaha Beef. Last week, we were welcomed by Todd. Today, we got Jason Unger. Jason, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, fellas. First time on the Primetime Beef Huddle, DJ K DuB. It's good to be in the house tonight, even though, you know, I'm actually in my home office. But it's good to join you fellas tonight.
Hey, we appreciate you joining us as well and taking away the time. Of course, people see you on the coach's show. People hear you on Saturdays. But I think what they kind of don't always see is preparation through the week, how your weeks go, kind of stuff like that to prepare you, especially now that you're back on Boomer Radio. You got that for you guys. What's all coming up with this Saturday that the fans should be expecting if they're tuning into you guys?
Yeah, what you're going to want to do to check out the game is head to myboomerradio.com. We'll be in the stream on Saturday from Salina. So just go to myboomerradio.com, search the Omaha Beef, and it'll take you right to the stream where we're going to be. Todd and I, of course, will be there calling the game. My first time to Salina and to the Pizza Palace. So I'm looking forward to it. You know, a lot on the line. We talked about it Monday. I'm sure I don't need to remind Coach, but, you know, it's hard to see an 0-1 on the ledger for the Beef at this point of the season. And when you look at the standings, you know, the Punishers are up there, you know, at 2-0, and they play again on Saturday. So, I mean, it's early in the season. I mean, you never want to take a loss. I suppose maybe week one, you know, is a good time if you're going to take a loss to take one. But at the same time, you don't want to spend too much time at the bottom of those standings looking up, you know, at the rest of the teams, you know, who don't have a loss yet. So I'm sure Coach is focusing on that. And I'm sure that's been a point of contention this week at practice as they've prepared for the Liberty.
Well, and of course, he had a good intro with just saying how the atmosphere was there. Of course, you guys have to prepare yourself pre-game, post-game, all that stuff. How long does it really take yourself, especially with a league like the NAL where changes could happen? I mean, all the way up until tonight, I believe. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. But
Right.
Changes could happen up until tonight. How do you prepare yourself when it comes to these game calls, knowing who's who, trying to stay involved? Because people think, anybody out there, they think that and I know Todd is a little more than involved, but Jason and I kind of stay on the backside. We stay as close as possible, but we also don't get into digging because we like to see the results and be able to talk all organically and not this cliche of, oh, you knew about this, you knew that. No, I like to talk it in real life.
Right. You know, my biggest resource is Todd, to be honest with you. I mean, he's plugged in. I know he talks to Ricky quite a bit, you know, throughout the week and kind of gets a pulse for, you know, how the team is doing. I know he talks to Coach Negron frequently as well. And, you know, I lean on Coach, you know, during the week as well, just to kind of find out what's going on, how the preparation's going, maybe talk a few injuries, maybe some roster changes and stuff like that. But honestly, my, you know, biggest resource is Todd. He's been involved, with the indoor game for quite a few years. He brought me in 2 years ago. So, this is my third year. So I'm just kind of, feeling a lot more comfortable, obviously, every year with how things work and how the season goes and how the rhythm of the weeks goes. So, but I've leaned on Todd a lot to kind of, provide me the information and kind of get a feel for, how the season works. And then obviously getting to know the coaching staff and Ricky, each and every week has helped, as well, just to kind of pick their brain and see how the preparation for the week is going and just talk football. I mean, it's football. I guess we're playing indoors, but I mean, football is football, and you want to block and tackle and obviously score more points than your opponent. So, I mean, we've all been around the game for a long time. We all understand the game. It's just the nuance of the indoor game is something that I've had to learn, but it's going well. I enjoy it. Having fun with the coaches show and hanging out with you guys, and then obviously calling the games on Saturday, is a big treat for me.
Well, of course, Coach, you know how important it is to have the consistency throughout the layers. You've, of course, seen Jason around and being able to even have conversations with him. How important it is to have the voice of your team also be someone that's willing to ask some of the hard questions and get more in depth instead of just the basic, "Hi, Coach, what's your plan this week? Just to win?" Yeah, go team, go. More in depth, more involved.
Well, first off, I'd love it if it was that easy. That'd be fantastic. But no. So I like the hard questions, right? I don't shy from those, and especially when I deserve them, right? So I thought I got some hard questions on Monday, and you know what? I have answers. So, and I think that what that does is it creates a connection between the team and the fans. Because I think a lot of times the fans don't have the ability to ask the hard questions. I mean, I'm pretty much an open book. If you come up to me and talk to me, I'll answer your questions even if I don't want to. But I think some fans are hesitant to ask, so it's nice to have a resource like Jason, like Todd, like yourself, where they can kind of go through you to get answers to anything they want, what roster decisions, where my mind is at, what I think of the team, whatever it may be, good, bad, or indifferent. I think that's one of the things we do really well in Omaha is we have this vehicle and this platform that brings the fans inside the day-to-day operations of the team. And I don't shy from that. I like that. I also think that, when I'm talking to Jason or you or Todd during the week, it just, not that I need my preparation honed, but it's nice when Jason calls me and I'm sure it's nice for him too. He calls me and he asks questions and I can give him answers. Right. I think everybody be concerned if you guys call and I'd be like, I have no idea what we're going to do this week. Right. So I think it's great. I think that, in this era where we have, a large growth in the podcasting market and social media and all that, I think, again, everything that we do ultimately is to provide this package of where the fans can be involved in many different ways. And this is what these shows and the things we all do together does.
And I think a lot of that is, it's coachees, sometimes, oh, good gosh, oh, golly, this is our thing. To have the avenues that we have with this team, it's cool. It's really fan interactive. And that's the big thing about arena football, period, is when you got a good fan base, this is just another avenue of them keeping in touch and becoming more devoted to the team. They know that, hey, I can ask Jason, I can ask Kendall, ask Coach. They're not going to get the coachees. Oh, good. And we all know what we're talking about there. So, yeah, we're blessed to have this avenue, this vessel. So.
Well, and this comes from the owner out there. Ricky's out there listening somewhere, but he says Omaha Beef equals transparency on all levels, even when things are not going as planned. Jason, of course, there's stuff on your guys' side where, especially on this first road trip, that even in the production and in what you get to see, doesn't always go as smooth as everybody hopes it does. What's kind of your biggest things and hopes on this first away travel game for yourself?
Well, my first challenge is going to be able to survive the 6-hour trip with Todd. I mean, that's ultimately going to be my biggest challenge. I'm not too worried once we get to the arena. I'm pretty confident that we'll be able to get things sorted out once we get there. It's just, spending 6 hours with that guy in a vehicle. I mean, I'm looking, I don't get a chance to do that very often. So I'm, a little bit anxious to see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. Todd does a lot more work on, the production side of things as far as setting up the broadcast, making sure we have the sponsors taken care of and everything else. And, he kind of is the producer of it. He sets everything up and, I just put the headphones on and kind of talk some football. So I'm fortunate enough to have a guy like him around who's able to sort all of that stuff out and understand how all of that stuff works. I mean, before he brought me back 3 years ago, I mean, I was out of the broadcasting game for about 25 years. So I kind of had to relearn things on the fly. So he's been a great help as far as getting me back into the swing of things. So, I mean, we do a pregame show. We'll talk to Coach that afternoon. We'll do like an 8-minute piece with Coach Negron. We'll play that before the game. I'll do a 3 to 4 minute open where we do like a breakdown of the game and talk about the players and maybe some of the players to watch and kind of do that. So it's like a 15 to 20 minute pregame that we have leading up to the actual game. So a lot of that work is done, during the week, but some of it's also done on game day. So it's interesting. It's fun. I mean, it's not, obviously our full-time job, but it's something that we take very seriously and enjoy, a lot. So we're looking forward to Saturday.
Well, for you, what brought you to Omaha Beef? Of course, you talked about Todd, but what about broadcasting? What about being one of the play-by-play callers for the Omaha Beef, and why Omaha Beef?
Yeah, so Todd and I went to college together. We had a college radio show together, and then just happened to meet back up 3 years ago when he reached out and asked if I would want to be a part of the broadcast. So I mean, in between I guess it would have been the early 2000s when we finished up college, up until prior to the 2024 season, we hadn't had a lot of contact with each other than an occasional text or a phone call here and there. But then he brought me in and asked if I wanted to do it. And I thought, what, why not? I was looking, to get back into doing some broadcasting stuff. I enjoy it. I like the podcast stuff. I like obviously the coach's show. So I said, why not? Let's do it. And he brought me back. I've been in Omaha personally since 2022. Moved here in 2022 with my wife. Yeah, love Omaha. Love the Omaha Beef. Love how much pride and passion, Coach Negron brings to it. Ricky obviously brings his own passion to everything that he does. And, it's just been a great partnership. I enjoy it. It's, for me, it's a way to get back into doing something that I love. And, it's like a 4-month commitment. So, it's not like for me, it's a 4-month commitment, not for Coach and the players. Obviously, it's a year-round thing. But for me, it's like a 4-month commitment. It gets me a chance to do something that I love. And yeah, that's kind of how I got back into the broadcast game, I guess.
Well, I greatly appreciate you joining us. I greatly appreciate you sharing to the fans, who the other voice on the other side is.
Yeah.
When they get to know you, though, what's your go-to outside of broadcast? And of course, you talked about how much you love sports. What's Jason's thing outside of sports?
Yeah, ironically, my thing outside of sports is spending time on the golf course. When I get a chance, I'd love to play golf. I wish I could play more. I don't get a chance to play as much as I would like, but yeah, I love to play golf. My son and I have a podcast that we do together. He's big, into the NBA, so he drags me along, and I kind of co-host a show with him and do that. So yeah, I just, and those are just what I do in my off time. My full-time job is I work at Roncalli Catholic High School as a communications coordinator there. So I've been there 3 years. So that's my day job. And, when I'm not working there, I'm hanging out with you guys and hopefully getting a chance to play a little golf on the side.
Well, Coach is a foodie here, and you might
Yeah.
have to take him. Maybe you could speak on it. The word on the Nebraska Prep Street, Roncalli has the best food for football.
Oh, no question about it. No question about it. You know what we'll have to do this fall once the high school football season rolls around? I'll have you boys out, to come and visit Pride Nation, and we'll have some of that. We'll have some of the best concession stand food. It is the best concession stand food in the state. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, they have all sorts. I mean, we've got pulled pork. I mean, they have ribs. I mean, they do. It's just, they go all out with stuff. I mean, it's crazy. Like during Lent, since we're a Catholic school, during one of the basketball games, they did like a full-on fish dinner. I mean, we're talking like breaded cod with baked potatoes. I mean, this is at, a high school basketball game. Yeah, it's crazy, man. They do a great job. They take a lot of pride in it. So that I would love to have you guys out for a football Friday night and have some of that concession stand food down at Roncalli.
For quite a while, because my now ex-wife and I have a lot of friends that went to Roncalli. Always talked about it, and I officiate in the state of Iowa, and we got a school that's just like that too, that I go to a few times, and nothing beats an awesome concession stand as an official, because we always get at the end of the game, it's like they load you up and you're like,
right,
I'll come back here more often. So,
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, it's
no doubt.
All right, well, Jason, we'll get you out of here on this. The call this Saturday. What's the big call that you're going to make this Saturday that you feel?
Well, I just feel like it's it's only week, I guess technically week 3, just the second regular season game for the Beef, but I feel like there's some desperation. I can sense it with Coach. I can sense it with the players. I think they're going to have their full focus on Saturday night, and I have faith in Coach Negron. He's got that offense. I think the offense is going to be humming. I'm going to predict they put up 56 plus, and they get the win on the road against the Liberty.
You heard it
Let
here
me
first.
just say this: 0-2 in Omaha is unacceptable. I don't need my owner to tell me that. It's unacceptable. So he's absolutely right. When there is desperation and stress and all that comes with us putting ourselves in a position where we could be 0-2. We bumped our heads past Saturday. We won't do it again.
Well, thank you again, Jason, and have a great call. Drive safe, be safe, and good luck those 6 hours. You and Todd.
See you soon.
Yeah,
Jason.
We'll see you.
I'm going to need it. Thanks, fellas. Take care.
All right. Coming up next, we got that Special Teams Player of the Week.
It's pretty simple. We change oil.
As a single parent, I come here because I trust them with my car care needs.
It's been very good, very fast. I've never had to wait.
They've never tried to upsell me, but at the same time, they have always given me options.
It's great customer service, very friendly staff, and it's really fast and easy to get in and out.
Stop by King's Fast Oil today. We change oil with a smile.
I love these guys.
Ace Rent to Own. 4 ways to save. 1. Cash sales with our best price guarantee. 2. Up to 12 months, no interest. 3. Short-term leasing. And 4. Our best rent to own low weekly rate.
Ace Rent to Own, where we make friends.
That's right. Welcome back to Primetime Beef Huddle. I'm your host, DJ K DuB Omaha. Today we have Special Team Play of the Week, MVP, Otis Odom, back for a second time on the podcast. Welcome back.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Glad to be here.
What I like about this is, the first time it was Rookies Docking, pretty much was the podcast that we had him on. And I think, of course, he's done his part to earn that spot that he has, where he's a force to be reckoned with. Of course, we've said it in the interviews, but for yourself, who's constantly always knows what it means to battle, what has it been like being up here in Omaha and knowing what you're battling for?
Well, it's been an experience just knowing, like, bringing in a championship mindset from everybody, the fans, the ownership, the coaches, just everybody wants to win. And I'm a winner, so take that take that mindset into practice every day, into the game. Just try to be me, try to help the team.
Coach, of course, you've had to seen this. You've said it before, but you've seen it before. How did you even find Otis? How did Otis come across your board?
So, Coach Martinez on our staff had coached him before. He had a brief stint at Salina too, right? So,
Yes, sir.
he had coached him up, and then I got to see some film, and I was sold from the moment I saw film. Again, you know, I take special teams, and I asked my team to take special teams seriously. We wanted that to be a component where we could change the game. And I mean, you've seen we're 2 for 2. He's changed the game twice. You know, obviously we didn't get the result that we wanted on a Saturday, but you know, I'm pretty consistent in giving the same speech at halftime. The first drive of the third quarter typically can be the most important drive of the game because it sets the tone. Well, how about you set the tone by running a kickoff, you know, for a touchdown right out the gate, and we're, you know, 14 minutes and 53 seconds, and we've added another 7 points, right? So those are the types of things that I want to see on special teams. Now the next step is getting him more involved and more acclimated in the offense, where he can be a weapon, you know, in more scenarios than just kick returns, and we're working on that. So I couldn't be more thankful that he's here. He's professional. And he runs 4.240, so that's pretty exciting.
Let that sink in.
Yeah.
You, of course, have, like you said, a little stint at Salina. What's the number one thing that you think, now that you played at the Slaughterhouse, that some athletes should respect about Salina or understand when they head to Salina?
That's a good question. It's going to be a gritty game. In Salina, you're going to have to play all 4 quarters. Coach O's going to coach them up. He's not going to let them quit, die down. You're going to have to play football all 4 quarters. And it's definitely going to be a high-intense game, a lot of energy. It's going to be fun and fast.
Of course, you look across the way. Is there any players that you used to play with that probably reached out and started talking stuff once you became Omaha Beef? I know how that goes. It isn't. They like to see you succeed, but sometimes they don't like where you go to succeed.
I have been reaching out. 3 players have reached out. One only really talks trash, and that's Tapper. But I reached out. Well, Tracy Briss has reached out. Faz Ed reached out. Tapper reached out. Everybody congratulated me on my award, everything about the game and everything I've been doing. So not really talking trash, just more like just keep doing what you're doing.
It's that cross even teams. Like, I think everybody, we understand it's a competition out there. These guys are here to win. But once the game is over, once that final whistle's done, 90% of them have relationships outside of here. In the fight, they're in the fight. What are you looking forward to being back to Salina? What's some of the things that's digging deep for you?
It's going to be like a homecoming for me. That's the first thing that gave me a shot. And just thankful for the opportunity Coach O gave me. And really, I'm happy to be back in Salina, just to see fans, see friends, just experience.
Coach, you talked about working him in, finding him ways. Of course, people are worried about his size. This dude handles his own. He doesn't need anybody to worry about that for him. He does the rest for him. What is his intensity do to help to show the people that are actually have the size should understand that this dude is coming every single play? He is not caring who you are on the other side.
Well, I think the first thing is you look at his size, and if you're, you know, if you're aspiring to play this game, you know, clearly size doesn't matter, right? Now look, there's certain things that, you know, obviously I don't want Otis to do where size could become a factor, right? I certainly don't want him, you know, running at defensive ends and things like that. But, you know, they got to be able to tackle him first. So that's not the worst thing either. You know, he's a game changer. And I think that, you know, where I see this going is there are just ebbs and flows in the game. And there's moments where teams need a spark. And look, you know, again, I want to move on from this first game. I'm desperate to move on from talking about it, right? But, you know, he gave us a spark to start the second half. He gives us a spark every time he touches the ball because there is a realistic chance every time he touches the ball that he could take it to the house. That's where I lend to we have to do more for him within the offensive system because he's dangerous with the ball in his hands. I don't think we're doing a great job of that yet. We're working on that this week and we'll continue to work on that. But ultimately, I think, you know, what the inspiration is again, every time he touches the ball, something good is going to happen. And it's not just taking it for a touchdown. It's field position. I think he had another return. He put us inside the 5. We should have freaking scored. So, you know, it's frustrating. And I hope it's frustrating for him, right? Where he starts, coach, I'm putting you where you need to be to put points on the board. Do your damn job. So I'd love that. That's great. That's the mindset that we want in our locker room and amongst our team where we're holding everybody accountable. So, I mean, look, he's been a great addition. I'm also going to continue to harp on just he's been professional, right? And I'm real big with these guys on bringing a level of class and professionalism and character to the team because that's the type of team I want to coach. Otis Odom fits that image.
Otis, of course, you know, this is your first loss with the Omaha Beef being around. What's been the environment in the locker room and how have you been able to help what you can help with? What's your controllables?
So, as you can tell, I'm a quiet dude. So I just really just observe. I'm an observer. I like to give my little input here and there. Just really keep to myself, just observe. I'm new, so I don't really try to say too much here and there, but just observe how everybody reacts to certain situations. I just try to get my input from what I'm used to, what I have done. Just being, I think, like, not to say this, but just to say it. Being around Coach O, I really learned a lot of the arena game and just how to move from a Hall of Fame coach, just like how practice should go, how practice should be ran, just special teams in general. Just he really just taught me a lot, and that just I'm an observer, so I observed a lot from him, and I just try to get my 2 cents to the team.
I think it's important to have those who do by example, but also have what I love about what he said there is just the multiple different coaching styles and him being able to adapt. You brought up adapting to what you're seeing, and of course, what's some of the things that you know that you could bring up in the locker room for your teammates and help them? What's some of the things that they look at you to have that leadership maybe a couple times?
Well, I think I can bring just a quiet but action type of leader. I would show that I can do it better than I can just tell you about it. So that's just my type of leadership and I can bring to the table and just try to give back what I have learned from the different teams I've been around, different organizations. Just I've seen practice go good, the woes, the bads, the goods, the ups, the downs, everything. Just excitement. Just really just trying to be excited. Just enjoy playing football because definitely not always guaranteed.
Good Lord, man. The way that he talks just is levels of beyond the game. He's someone you want in the locker room. He's someone by action, by also the professionalism you constantly have said. You, of course, look across the way. There, what else is some things that you have been able to do outside of the game for yourself, being a part of this organization? Of course, it's been a short time. You've had probably about 4 weeks, but you've had to kind of also grow in yourself. What's some things that you've been able to take away from being in Omaha?
Being from Atlanta, it's definitely been cold. I have never seen snow as much as I have since I've been down here. And just the experience, like Brentley, some of the players, David Ross, they've been bringing me in, just trying to give me the Omaha experience. I went to Omaha for the first time last weekend, so just trying to observe everything in Omaha, just to do.
Are we done with snow, by the way?
I mean, maybe March 31st at the latest. I think we're done. I
hope so.
As far as the up down weather,
I'm right there with Otis on that one.
It's crazy out here. The wind is horrible.
Yeah, horrible.
Back home, who's back home that supports you? Who's some people that you want to make sure they know that they're supporting you big, both in Atlanta but also just over you all the time?
My entire family, actually. My mom, Michelle Miller, my auntie Angela Miller, my dad supports me a lot. Otis Odom, not a junior though, not a junior. And just my homeboys, my brother. I call them my brothers. Janio, Jewel, just people like that. Just they keep me grounded, just keep me grinding every day. I just try to do it for people back home that want to see me play.
What are some things, Otis, now that you've kind of, come to Omaha and just, look, you've been coached by a Hall of Fame coach. I hope and aspire to be at that level. What are some differences maybe or maybe similarities between the two locker rooms?
The two locker room similarities would be winning. That's all we know. That's all they want to do. All we want to do is win. So when you bring those type of people in to the environment or into the locker room, that's what you're most of the time going to get out. You just got to put it all together and just make sure everybody has one goal and just can't be individuals in the locker room. And then when you put all that together, you'll win. Even if it starts off slow, if everybody stay together, it's gonna all come together at the end because winning 2 games doesn't mean anything. At the end of the season, when you get to go, that defines everything.
What's one of the differences that you've noticed or that you've had to adjust to? Is there one?
What I have to adjust to it as a team or just
in general?
The 2 motions. I'm used to being the one high motion, just in that aspect. Not playing the ball off the net, that's a whole difference in the type of league. And just the camaraderie as a team, like everybody he brings in. Playing in Salina, it was more vets, not really rookies. And more of this is like you get a little bit of rookies, but more vets. Everybody's most from Omaha or been around Omaha, so you able to adapt to how practice is going easily.
Who's been some of the vets that have kind of picked up? You brought up Ross, you brought up Brentley Allen. Who's some others that have kind of also taken you under their wing?
My boy Dev, the receiver. That's my boy. And Devontae Wright, my roommate. They all keep me humble, just keep me going, keep me level-headed about practice. Just tell me keep going day by day.
Of course, big game on the road. It's the first road game. What do you remember about playing on the road previously? What's some things that you have to prepare yourself? Because it's not everybody's schedule is different. Some have to work on Saturday before they get even on the trip on Saturday that morning. What's kind of your schedule like that day?
For going towards the game, like just already there. I would say I take a good a bath at 3:00 in the morning every time. So that's how I start my morning off. 3:00 morning, Epsom salt bath. Wake up, go to the arena, eat, and just put my headphones on and just walk the field and just imagine like the people in the stands, what they could be saying, what they cannot be saying. Just try to put it all into my head and so I won't be surprised when it does happen.
I like what he's talking, man. Some of that pregame. Who's in the headphones? Who we bumping?
Like I said, my brother Janio Jewel, his rap name is Tavali, so I play him. Mostly Atlanta rappers, honestly. I just stick to what I know.
That ATL.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Of course, what's your go-to food? If you could have something.
Shrimp Alfredo, that's the go-to for me.
See, simple.
I think you got to get that in Salina, right? They got a good pregame meal.
But we did have shrimp Alfredo in Salina.
Yeah. See, taken care of.
And a salad. They had a salad.
Yeah.
What's your biggest adjustment you think for yourself this coming up game? Anything different that you have to mentally prepare yourself for?
Adversity. Just knowing I might not get a kick, or I might get a kick and it's covered. Like how to adapt to not making the big play and just staying in the game. Just knowing it's not about me, it's about the team. So just being level-headed and knowing if I do need to make a play, the play has to be made.
I don't know, Coach. I mean, you have the continued push of these players where they're building up that locker room. Everybody thinks it's just built every day and everything's simple, but having athletes like Otis in the locker room can make or break this one loss that happens into something that could turn into something bigger than that, because they don't get lost in their own feelings. Like I don't feel any of the negative emotion. I feel nothing but a positive of wanting to go down, handle business, kind of what you said with you and Tony were talking about. But to hear it from the players of how they're preparing themselves, it speaks volume.
Yeah. Look, no one person can be bigger than the team for this to work. And, Otis is reflective of that. I think we're continuing to build a locker room and a roster that is reflective of that. We've made some transactions this week that I think make us a better team. But, at the end of the day, you're always taking a risk when you bring guys, right? Because you don't know, if they're going to be able to buy into your system, to your mission, what you're trying to accomplish. Is it about them? Is it about the team? I think we had a home run with this kid. He's like I said, he's 2 for 2. I want to expand on what he does offensively. And he's right. I mean, look, the more successful he is in special teams and kick return, the more they're going to game plan for that, right? So that helps us too, because it's forcing teams to do things that they may not ordinarily do because they have to account for them now. And then we're going to adjust to that, right? We know that's coming, right? So we're going to make our adjustments too. So he's a chess piece that allows me to stay in the game. And I think that's exciting. I'm really happy for him. I'm happy his family's getting to see him successful. And again, we're going to keep using him wherever we can.
What was a message, if I could get asked this, because obviously I'm sure people ask, what's the message that continued to push you above what anybody could think about a size or a person?
So I wear a chain that says heart over height, and every day I just look at my chain and just take it day by day and saying that the opportunity I have been given, I'm blessed with it. I just have to get back and show people it's about what's inside, not about what's out.
When you talk about those opportunities, what's been the roller coaster for you and how you've been able to stay above all that?
Ooh, that's a good one. Family, friends, and just praying mindset, just knowing like it's life. Football is gonna come to an end. So just taking it, like I said, day by day. And when football does end, I feel like I left an impact on people that have been doubted. And I can just get back in some type of way with football.
Do you do any coaching or anything outside? What do you do outside of playing football?
Yeah, I do coach only little kids though. I'm not ready for the high school, middle school level yet. So more just 6 to probably 10 years old. I give back to them, just coach a little bit here and there. But I'm not really the mindset of coaching yet. So I just try to give a little input. Like I like watching little kids play. It's funny. And like knowing now they know more about the game than most high school kids. So they go into middle school knowing how to read a defense, how to throw the ball. Like when we was growing up, we wasn't throwing the ball. You were running our formation, wing T, you run the ball the whole game. So just seeing the formation and our generation has changed with football growing up.
You talk about a very impactful age, 8 to 10 or 6 to 10. That's very influential time with these athletes. What's the inspire behind that for you? Is there anything for yourself that you've noticed from your time that makes you feel that's a very important age?
You can laugh, like you can like just see the ups and the downs of the kids. They really understand what's going on, so you can really like explain and really help them without an argument, without it being too much of a discussion. So it's just funny just seeing kids with the ups and downs of playing football.
I like what he means by that. It's, so many people get lost in the forcing people to do what they're supposed to do instead of explaining how to do it. And then you're seeing the results. And I think it's real simple of just making sure that these kids understand that the mistake beyond the mistakes and how to adapt and adjust.
Yeah, I'm the coach that shows up once a week and then just show up to the game and just give my little input. I just want to be on the sideline, just enjoying the moment of just being on the sideline with kids, just seeing them have fun.
What I like though is he's not saying like he's a full-time coach.
At least he's honest about it. Right?
Yeah, because like to me, that's why like either I can or can't coach. Like you're either all 10 toes down or you aren't, because you're trying to get them to invest in that. But you're working as, like you said, where you get to go see them one day a week and then you go to the game and see a little bit of the results. And I think it's just continuing to push what you know. I mean, because for you, you have to teach these kids how to beat people with things that are unconservative, not the norm. What do you think is your number one push when you talk to kids about overcoming those adversities, whether it's size, speed, whatever? What's your biggest message for them?
Mentally. Mental beats everybody every time. Doesn't matter how fast, how slow. If you're smart, you can do whatever you want to do.
Mental. I like that, man. And I mean, because you're only can I ask how old are you?
20. My birthday was yesterday, so 27 now.
Well, happy
This
birthday.
is how quiet he is. Nobody knew that until just now. Nobody.
Beef Nation, make sure to give a shout out. I mean, no one knew.
No
My
one.
mom's gonna be mad. Y'all. Said that.
Went through a whole day.
Hold
of
on.
practice,
Why
didn't say
mom
one
gonna be
word.
mad? Why mom gonna be mad?
So yesterday when we went to Buffalo Wild Wings, she said, "You're not gonna tell the team it's your birthday." I'm like, I'm cool. Just gonna go eat some wings. So
Oh,
she's
don't
gonna be
worry.
mad
We're
about
gonna,
that one.
Mom. We got this covered. Don't you worry about a thing.
So she's
Oh
gonna be
yeah,
mad
now it's
about that
covered.
one.
Now it's gonna be on tonight. Well, you said you got a roommate. We'll let his question fly up here as we're trying to wrap
I
up
saw
the
it.
show
I
here.
was wondering if you're gonna do this.
Devontae Wright says, ask Otis what would happen if he didn't chop nobody back in K-State offense.
Oh, you a chop block. What would happen? I think I win, and I think I probably wouldn't be in K-State offense if we couldn't chop block. I don't think that would have been a fit for me.
What does that mean? What is?
I don't think in arena you can do it, but once you block somebody below the hip, so you try to flip them, slow them down just a little bit. It's more basically for smaller backs. I really don't want to put hands on bigger guys.
Who's someone that you looked up to? Is there anybody
that I looked up to? Barry Sanders, Percy Harvin, Tyreek Hill. Those
There you
three.
go.
Okay.
Those are my three.
Man, I wish you would have said Darren Sproles. At least then we could connect. Speaking of
like
K-State,
just like a kind of bigger type of back.
I feel you.
Thunder thighs. That's not me. That's not me. More just like a.
He ain't lying. Sproles did have the thunder thighs. He had the thunder thighs.
What's Chris? Well, I should ask you that. We're gonna shout him out for.
Well, yeah. First of all, I want to say, Chris, thanks for coming to Omaha. I actually got to meet you.
Yeah.
Welcome to Omaha. Sorry we didn't have the win for you. We of course wanted that. We all know that. But Coach, how many points y'all scoring on Saturday? Hold on. I hope he ain't trying to use this for that.
He knows I'm not going to answer the question. That's why he asked the question. Krish, thank you for coming. You and your mom. I wish that we had a chance to spend more time together. I think he's really, really good for our industry, and it's just an up and coming media personality in the sports world. But you know damn well I'm not answering that question.
Yeah, we're not getting no. What's that
There's
betting?
no bulletin board material.
What's the betting?
There's no props. I'm not involved. No, and more no.
He said, nah. Here's a question from Derek Curtis. It's a rivalry. We got to be ready. Rivalry renewed. Is that what you would consider, Salina? I don't know. I wasn't here before 2024, so I don't know.
Me either. We played in AF1, so we didn't play Omaha.
Yeah, I mean,
since 2023.
Look, there's a historical rivalry back, dating back to CIF. Until we're winning ball games, I'm not gonna put us. We're not gonna add something to this. I got to win a ball game.
Okay,
that's what's in front of me. I got to win a ball game.
And then, of course, we have a couple that are gonna. David Peterson, he said they're gonna be traveling. They'll be loud and proud.
Love that.
So we greatly appreciate those. And again, remember, lots of things. I know there's a lot of visiting. We greatly appreciate you guys coming out to the meet and greets, whether it's at Texas Roadhouse this coming up Wednesday or Buffalo Wild Wings.
What's that one say? That's a long one.
This one?
Brian.
All right. This one was
Am I going to like this?
I don't know. We're going to see. He goes, lots of similarities between the Punishers this year and the Renegades last year. Starting the season off against tough opponents and not expected to win. So nice to have. And then that's all I got.
You know what? I'll say this. I think not expected to win is a little disrespectful to both of those teams. I mean, I think they came in expecting to win just the way we came in expecting to win. Pueblo's a well-coached team. Coach Solo, Coach Terry did a great job. I'm sure Coach Brooks had a lot of influence in the defensive side of the ball, despite not being able to travel to the game. Beaumont did what they did last year. We're not going to take that stuff away from them. Corey Mayfield's a very well-known and respected coach, and I know the coaching tree he came through. So, look, on any given Saturday, these teams are built and designed to win, right? I would like to think that all the teams in this league are going in with the same expectation. Our expectations are through the roof for a reason, and it's based off of history and what we've done and what we expect to continue to do. And I love that. That's the pressure we want. We don't duck that. We want that. So again, like I said, 0-2, it's unacceptable. We're focused on winning a bowl game. Good thing to say, Brian.
Thanks, Brian. Then we got Tony O'Neill. Standings don't mean anything. One loss means nothing. Coaches got to get and lock in, make adjustments, keep the foot on the gas, stop sleeping on folks. Take no one lightly. My 2 cents. Nobody asked for. Well, we appreciate you, one, for joining the show. That to me means
Coach
more
O'Neill,
than you think.
congratulations. He's back with Minnesota, so I'm happy for him, and I think he knows me well enough to know I don't take anyone lightly.
Well, we have a lot going on. You guys have a big trip coming up. Of course, good luck. Be ready this weekend.
This was fun. We should do a comment section more often.
Hey, if they put them in there and we see them, we trying.
That.
I appreciate those.
Yeah, it's good stuff. More interaction from the
yes,
fans. We love it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Of course, remember, Saturday, you got 3 ways. You're either going to go down to Salina. You're going to come out to Hurrdat Sports Bar, where I'll be hosting. 5:30, I start with the pregame music, food, drinks, swag. Of course, we greatly appreciate you coming out to that. Now, as far as the actual production, I don't know if we're going to have Todd and Jason is going to have the call. I know they'll be on their call, but we just don't know if it'll be on for the NAL network. Todd should know that. If not, you could also check them out on Boomer Radio. You can check them out. Or the NAL network. There's 4 different ways you can find the game, but all that matters is every time that you do, just always remember, it's always go Beef.
Welcome back to the Omaha Beef Coaches Show.
We're going to discuss with him everything going on here.
We want to set the standard. We want to give our fans the best thing possible that we can.
God took me from the Carolina Cobras to the New York Yankees in about 2 days. I just love Omaha.
We're going to be here every Monday night, 6 o'clock, Goose's Downtown Pavilion.
Let's get this started.